Alright, welcome back to this session, and we have been looking at blockchain application in logistics and purchasing. And don't forget, we are currently dealing with the user interface of the application, where we are working on the parts that the user can see. So once we are done with that, we then go ahead to integrate it with blockchain, and we have been able to work on the navigation bar, which is the card section. So at the moment now, we are going to continue so that we finish working on the user interface, and then we go ahead to link it up with the blockchain so that our application will be trustworthy and will be tamper proof. So, but before we do that, let's just open our application to see our work progress. And what you just need to do, you can just be sure that you have just opened the application where you stopped, to be sure that you are to open your application. Let me see if I can zoom this. Alright, so to open your application, all you just need to do is just to run npm run dev, then run dev. So once the application starts running, then you just copy the link and open it with your web browser to see what your end results look like. So you can either copy this link, with you highlight it and you do Ctrl+C, or you open your browser, go to a new tab, and then paste the link that you have copied. Or you can just open a browser and just go to localhost 3000. That will also open the application for you. So it's taking some time. We are going to have it very soon. Alright, so now that the application has opened, you can see our progress so far. We have the navigation bar. We also have the cards component, where we have the complete shipment, shipment details, and start shipment. So, and don't forget that when we click on the start shipment, we have a pop-up that come up and asks us for the shipment details and also the amount the user is willing to pay. You can see track products, create shipment, where this is the pop-up that we are going to be creating. So, like we have been doing, let's just open our notes, come to this particular card component. So this is where we had the moment we have looked at these parts. We have looked at all these parts. We have been able to run, and the application is working as we want it to work. So let's just look at the pop-up, which is the Modal component. So all you just need to do, you can see anytime we click on a specific button, we want a Modal or pop-up to display the necessary information and action. The first one is the start shipment, which we bring a pop-up that will allow us to start the shipment. And with that, let's just go ahead to create a component called start shipment that we are going to be using for that pop-up. So after which we then come and get the components from our documentation like we have been doing. Alright, so let's just go to our code. Then you can then close all this. Let me think this is better. So you can then close all this, then you go to your component folder, then so in the component folder you just create a file. So I don't forget how to create the file. You click on the particular parent folder that I want to house that file, then you click on this new file. Then once you click on the new file, you give it a name. So the name we are giving it is the start shipment, because that is the pop-up that we are going to be using. So don't forget the extension JSX. So once you do that, you create an arrow function that will help you start shipment. Then don't forget you will then export default export. Also, once you create the arrow function, this is the arrow function, then the arrow function will return the body of the component. So let's just have this as start shipment model. So once we have that, the next thing to do is what? You go to your index file, then you should always remember to export it. So I'll just import start shipment from this particular current folder directory, then I'll say start shipment. Then once I import it as default, then I will export it here. So let's just have all these on a separate line. Let's have it on a separate line for better readability's sake. So once we have been able to do that, then the next thing is for us to go to our home page to import it. So let's just go. Don't forget your default page. If you go to this app file, this page.js is your default body home page. So you just import that start shipment. Don't forget you have exported it already. So you import it, then you just add it here as a self closing tag since you are not passing anything into it. So I'll just save. So once I save, I should be able to see that my start shipment on my web page. So you can see I have the start shipment model. So that means I can actually call it from my home page. Alright, so now that we have been able to do that, let's just go ahead to our documentation to check for a modal component. So you just copy this, and just copy this. So you go to components, then you look for modal. So you just look for anyone that speaks to what you want to use it for. You can see, you can even test it here if you want the one that we have a static. So everything is there for you, just for you to use it. You can see different ones, different modal component, different pop-up. So just check and see the one, and you can always clean up to see the one. You can see different types. So if anyone speak to the one that you feel will be useful for you, you can see this one have forms. So if you see anyone that, okay, this one, I think this is the one that will be good for me, this is the one that will be good for me. So but for me, I'm looking for the one that we don't wait. So I'm just looking for something very simple. So I'll just go with the first one, but I'm just showing you all that just for you to know what is possible for you. Just explore. You will definitely see the one that will work for you. So I'll just go with this first one. Just go with the first one so you can see. So just what you need is just this particular one. We are going to be getting the button that we are going to be using to launch it will be on our home page. So we have the button already. This is the button we are going to be using to launch it. So we don't need to pick this button. You can see this is the button that they are using to launch it, which is this. But we don't need the button because we have the buttons already. So it's just for us to do the link up so that we can be able to use the button to bring up this pop-up. Alright, so I'll just copy this. Just copy. Then go to your code. Just notice the pattern. So you can see it here. Then you go to where you have the file, start shipment. Then in this your return, just put your bracket here. So this should not be there. So you paste what you have copied. And don't forget that all these are coming from React Bootstrap component that we installed. So I'll just go ahead to clean up first. Let me just clean up first. So I don't need the header. I actually don't need the header. I don't need the header. I only need the body. So I know I need the modal. So I'll just go and copy the component that I am using, which is so I will also still put some things there, but let's just go ahead to copy that. Let's just take it one step at a time first. So you can see the component that they use. You can see the component they use, so I'll just pick those components. The pattern is still the same, so I'll just import those components, putting the model from. So don't forget, I want to save space by just using one line of code instead of having to do it with several lines of code. We then go ahead to clean up. Let's just clean up. So this is the function that shows Modal. Then on hide, that means when the user close the Modal, this will then come up. Then you also have the body of the Modal. You have the body, then the body, what you want to put in the body. The first thing is the header, so where you have the header and where you can also close the pop-up, and then from there you have the form. You have the form from what you have in your, you can see this is it. You have the header, you have this text, and you have these forms, and you have the button to submit that. But let's just see how it works first. Let's just leave it like this. But so that we can be able to close it, because when you open it, you must be able to close it. Then all you just need to do, and also I want it to be at the center. You can see from this one it's at the center, so I'll just put I'll just put it properly. Let me just save this. So I'll just put the property, because it will give me some error. It's fine. So I'll just do some cleanup. So on show, actually let me say I'll be getting some property from the home component. This is parameters that I'll be getting from the home component. So let me say start Modal, and also the set start Modal. Then I'll also be getting the start shipment. So this start Modal is just to know if this particular pop-up is open. Like if the user wants it to be open, then it will be true or false. So if it is open, it will be true. If it is closed, it will be false. And also this set start, so that when I close it, I want to be able to update that particular element that is opening and closing the Modal. So if I want to close it, then I'll just have a button here that will say set this particular thing to false. So once it is set to false, that means I should close this pop-up. And also start shipment is when we design our form. Then when the user click on the button, then it will trigger the action that allow the user to start their shipment. And then we go ahead to say that when I hide this pop-up, when I hide this Modal, then I'll just then I just go ahead to say set start Modal to false, meaning that I want to close it, because when it is true, it will be open. You will see it when I go to the home page now. When it is true, it will be open, and when it is false, it will be closed. So you can see this show is either true or false. So when it is true, it will show this particular Modal. Then when it is false, it will not show it. Then I will just go ahead to say this is the start Modal. Then now that we have that, so if this is true, it will show the pop-up. If it is false, it will not show it. Then I also want it to be set. So you can see this is just for me to update it, that when I click on hide, that means when I click outside the particular pop-up, then it should set this to false. That means it should close it. Then I also want it to be at the center. I want it to be at the centered.